Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the August meeting of the Common Council. We'll go ahead and call this meeting on and get started with a prayer and then our pledge. Yeah, please.
Sure. Let us pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Kevin Burnett.
Here.
Floyd Brown. Glenna Brown.
Here.
Brad Haywood. Judy Grandy.
Here.
Tommy Joe. Terry Ford.
Here.
Don Reiser.
Here.
Bill Smith.
Here. All right, then. We do have a quorum. We'll move on to item number 3, which is approval of the minutes of the meeting held on 7/28/2026. Could I get a motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
Miguel, and a second?
Second.
And Kevin on the second. Do a roll. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next up, we've got a motion to approve list of city bills paid. Before I ask for that motion, do we have any questions?
I do have a couple of questions, Mayor.
Okay.
It looks like the clerk is using a different format, which is confusing to me, but that's all right. I'll get used to it because pages 27, 28, and 29 have nothing on them. But we'll get it figured out, I guess, what we're saying.
Yeah, it's just been printed off to where
Okay. Okay.
I think it was in a landscape print.
It was in a different format. I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out what that was. And on page 17 and 18, it looks like we had to pay a considerable amount to the landfill last month. Let's see. 17, 18. And Josh, I guess you can tell us about that. We had extraordinary expenses to the landfill, like several $1,000s.
Yeah, that was that sludge.
That was in July. I mean, that was in June, I guess. Maybe July. On page 17 and 18.
One of them was possibly a house, but we did haul some sludge.
Oh, yes, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then some landfill and the garbage was about like around $10,000 or something. So I guess that's what we have to pay when you have to haul the sludge off.
Yeah, if we do haul a bunch off, it's
Okay.
considerable.
And then, let's see. And then we had some insurance on page 33. We had some insurances, and that was for fire and ambulance, and that's an annual payment. And then we had some public entity airport for property there. And I think that's, other than we've got several water bills on the admin on page 8 and 9, and I don't know if they're all related to a particular, well, not related to that particular building, but I know they can be. We had 8 and 9, on page 36, I'm sorry, page 36. We had 8 and 9 water bills, but I guess Cindy knows what those are.
I think it's probably more where the new water company took over, and we probably got like a little mix of
Okay.
old and new. And
Okay. And you know, some of them are just small bills, like $29 or something like that.
And I think maybe before they had them together, and this company has them all completely separate.
Okay. Maybe we could look at those sometime and just see where they're allocated to.
I think Sarah has had us a good
Okay.
account for it, so we can pull it up.
Okay, we can look at that. I just see a lot of bills, and maybe we could consolidate some of those at some point in time, and that would help our meter situation, if we can, but they're separate meters, so we probably have to pay every meter that we've got. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I think that's about all I have for right now.
Okay. Do we have any other questions?
I got one, Mayor.
Okay.
On page 36, it says a condemned house disposal. Is that us doing that, or did we hire that done from someone else?
We do all of our own demolition. If I had any guess, that would be our bid from where we did not have a high bidder. Because we don't take property, we just put a lien on it, and then if that lien is not paid, then it goes to the sale. At the
So there could
sale,
be other costs in there, it's not just the condemned house disposal? or-
yeah, I mean, that could be the fees that have accumulated through code
Okay.
enforcement for several years, or it could be a sort of things. It could be
I thought it
the
was,
lawyer fees as well.
I thought it was a little high for the dumping fees, if that's what it was.
It would be our man hours or anything else, but we don't subcontract that.
I think that's what he told us he had bid in, is that right?
Anyway,
And we own that property now.
we do, yes.
Was there any other questions? All right. Hearing none, could I get a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Cool.
Second.
And a second.
Mr.
First,
President,
Ms. Dawn. We'll do a roll call on that.
Kevin Barnett. Glenna Brown.
Aye.
Judy Grandy.
Aye.
Terry Ford.
Aye.
Don Reisner.
Aye.
Bill Smith.
Aye.
All right. Next up, we got number 5, which would be the motion to approve the second reading for our setting our ad valorem tax for the year 26 and 27. Ms. Clerk, if you've got wind, could I get them? And just to be very clear, once again, there is no raises to any taxes on anything you're going here this evening. Could I get a motion to approve that before I have to start reading?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Please read.
Whereas, in accordance with provisions of Kentucky Revised Statutes, the Middlesboro City Council deems enactment of the following ordinance to be in the best interest of the city of Middlesboro and to be essential to ensure that sufficient funds are available to satisfy the budgetary requirements of the city. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of Middlesboro, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, on every $100 in value of all real property subject to taxation by said city of the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2026 and ending June 30, 2027. Assessed for the said year by the Bell County Property Valuation Administrator for the said city as of January 1, 2026. By the Kentucky Railroad Commission, by the State Board of Valuations, and by any other assessing authorities. And by the statutes of Kentucky, there is hereby levied and ordered an ad valorem tax rate at the rate of 6.90 cents on each $100 of assessed valuation for the following purposes and in specified amounts as follows. The sum of 6.90 cents is hereby levied on each $100 of assessed valuation of real property subject to tax for city purposes of defraying the necessary expenses for general operation of the city government and services in the city of Middlesboro, including payment of salaries and all operating expenses of the police, fire department, clerk, collector, assessor, city attorney, treasurer, mayor, and councilman, and all other employees of the city, and for supplies and equipment for all departments, traveling expenses, and for all general purposes of paying all general expenses of maintenance and repair of all city property, including streets, right-of-way, paying for all utility services used by the city, and for the purposes of expansion of airport facilities, buying right-of-way, damages, court costs, and to purchase new pieces of equipment for use in any of the various departments of the city, such as fire, police, street department, and for any and all general purposes for which such tax levy may be needed in the general operation of the city of Middlesboro. The overall tax on real property of 6.90% is distributed as follows. General fund 6.90, section 2. There has also been imposed a bank franchise and local deposit tax for the year 2026 at the rate of 0.025%. Said monies to be collected and paid to the general fund. Said funds shall then be distributed as follows. General fund 25.0, section 3, a discount of 2% will be allowed if the total bill is paid through the month of November 2026. Bills are net in the month of December 2026. Section 4, a penalty of 5% shall be attached to the collection of all taxes levied and not paid before January 2027. Section 5, a penalty of 21% shall be attached to the collections of all taxes levied and not paid before February 2027. Section 6, this ordinance shall become effective upon enactment and publication as required by law.
We've got a motion by Terry and a second by Judy. Could we please do a roll call on that if you've got some bread back?
I got it. Kevin Barnett. Glenda Brown.
Aye.
Judy Grandy.
Aye.
Terry Ford.
Aye.
Don Reisner.
Aye.
Bill Smith.
Aye. Okay. Move on to item number 6. Madam Clerk, if you got your breath back, I'm going to ask for a motion. All right, could I get a motion to approve the second reading for the ordinances of personal property tax for the year 26-27?
I'll make that motion.
Bill Smith. And a second?
I'll second.
Judy. Madam Clerk, would you please read the ordinance?
Whereas in accordance with the provisions of Kentucky Revised Statutes, the Middlesboro City Council deems enactment of the following ordinance to be in the best interest of the city of Middlesboro. And whereas enactment of this ordinance is essential to ensure that sufficient funds are available to satisfy the budgetary requirements of the city. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Middlesboro, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, on every $100 in value of all personal property subject to taxation by the said city for the year beginning January 1, 2027 and ending in December 31, 2027, assessed for the said year by the Bell County Property Valuation Administrator for the said city as of January 1, 2026 by the Kentucky Railroad Commission, by the State Board of Valuations, and by any other assessing authorities, and by the statutes of Kentucky. There is hereby levied and ordered an ad valorem tax at the rate of 23.20 cents on each $100 of assessed valuation for the following purposes and in specific amounts as follows. The sum of 23.20 cents is hereby levied on each $100 of assessed valuation of personal property subject to tax for city purposes of defraying the necessary expenses for general operation of the city government and services in the city of Middlesboro, including payment of salaries and operating expenses of the police and fire departments, clerk, collector, assessor, city attorney, treasurer, mayor, and councilman, and all other employees of the city, and for supplies and equipment for all departments, traveling expenses, and for all general operation expenses of every nature, and for the purposes of paying all the general expenses of maintenance and repair of all the city property, including street, right-of-way, paying for all utility services used by the city, and for the purposes of expansion of airport facilities, buying right-of-way, damages, court costs, and to purchase new pieces of equipment for use in any of the various departments of the city, such as fire, police, or street departments, and for any and all general purposes for which such tax levy may be needed in the general operation of the city of Middlesboro. The overall tax of personal property of 23.20 cents is distributed as follows. General fund, 23.20. Section 2, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon passage and publication. Section 3, that all ordinance or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, or to the extent of such conflict hereby repealed.
All right. Okay, so we got a motion from Bill, a second by Judy, and we'll do a roll call on that if you're okay to go, Ms. Clerk.
Kevin Barnett.
Aye.
Glenda Brown.
Aye.
Judy Grandy.
Aye.
Terry Ford.
Aye.
Don Reisner.
Aye.
Bill Smith.
Aye. All right. Moving on to item number 7. As you all know, the resolution we passed last month for the 4.6 million was heavily gone towards two main things, of flood mitigation as well as community development. We put an RFQ out and we received, I think, 4 different agencies that said that they were interested in this. Sustainable Streams seems to be the most suitable for that, based off the recommendation from the board that reviewed all of them. So I would like to ask for a motion to enter an agreement with Sustainable Streams for flood mitigation design.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second by Dawn. Okay. We'll do a roll call on that.
Kevin Barnett.
Aye.
Glenda Brown.
Aye.
Judy Grandy.
Aye.
Terry Ford.
Aye.
Don Reisner.
Aye.
Bill Smith.
Aye. All right. Well, next up, we've got the Boys and Girls Club of Appalachia here. And I'll let them kind of come to the front and kind of talk to you, kind of some of the stuff that's been going on and what all they do. And they're looking for a motion to move forward their MOU so they can get started on a few things.
Stand here.
Yeah, you can hand out. You got handouts.
Leslie's got, these are our annual reports from last year, but just look at these and you can see kind of the impact that we're making in Eastern Kentucky. I'll give you a little bit of history. There were a group of concerned citizens back in 2001 that started a youth sports league. It was called Harlan County Youth Sports. And this was the same time that the OxyContin epidemic was hitting, and it didn't take very long for them to realize that kids needed something more than just sports leagues. They needed a place to go and people who cared about them. They needed food. They just needed a safe, positive place to go. And so this group of people first looked into getting a YMCA, and I believe their demographics didn't fit what they were looking for, and so they called the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. And so they came down. And I like to tell everybody, I think we were kind of like their little experiment or project, because they told the group, and this was about 1 year before I got involved, but they told the group that if you can come back with 2 years budget, a CEO, and a facility and a board of directors, then we'll let you get chartered. And you know, at this time, clubs were primarily in major metropolitan areas. They talked about keeping kids off the street. And this group went and they had everything they needed within 6 months. And that's because the need was so real. And so we were chartered. We were officially chartered in 2003. I started in 2004. We first operated out of an old elementary school, the Lowell Elementary School. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but we would go in there and the heat wouldn't be working, or it'd be raining and rain would come down like inside the walls, and we would still be packed out with kids. And that's how desperately they needed some place to go and some positive place to be. So we had one site for a long time, and then in 2018, the former president of Union College, Marcia Hawkins, came to visit our club. She was familiar with Boys and Girls Clubs because her daughter went to one in Texas. And they were interested in starting a Boys and Girls Club on Union's campus because they were going to start an after-school program, and they wanted it to be a Boys and Girls Club and just have the programs of a Boys and Girls Club and have that name recognition. So in 2018, they launched, and because Boys and Girls Clubs of America saw so many clubs opening and closing, I had to go to new executive orientation when I started way back when. And when I went, I met the CEO at Berea, the CEO of Richmond, CEO of Somerset, and within 5 years, all of those clubs were closed. And because I think that was happening nationally, Boys and Girls Clubs of America said, in order for a new club to come on, they need to come in under an existing organization. And so that's been their model for the past 10 or 15 years. And so Union came in under us. That was our second club. It was a great partnership. You know, having a club on a college campus was wonderful because the kids got acclimated to that. But more than that, we were able to deliver these programs to the kids in Knox County who had the same needs as the kids in Harlan County. Since that time, we have opened up 7 more clubs. So we have 9. They're all on the back. We have 6 school-based clubs, and we have 3 traditional clubs, and that just means it's open to anyone. So our school-based clubs are only open to the kids who go to that school, but our traditional clubs are open to everyone in the community as long as they're a child, as long as they're a school-age child. So I've been talking to Boone for a while. We had a group from Middlesboro visit us several years ago looking to do a Boys and Girls Club, and it has just taken a little while, I think, to get it off the ground. But Boone and I have been talking, and there's a facility here, and I think, you know, we have a lot of the same goals for our kids. We just want kids to have a positive place to go, have a safe place to go, to have food. That's one of the biggest things we do, is just feed our kids. We feed at all of our traditional sites, and we, over the summer, we're putting out about 300 meals a day, about 500 meals a day. So just providing kids with food. I don't know how many school teachers are in the room, but if you work with kids, you know that they may be getting fed at 8 o'clock in the morning and at 11 and then not get food again until the next day. So that's a big component of what we do. But we do so much else. I like to tell everybody we just do whatever it takes. And so if we have a child that has a need, it may be a need for a homecoming dress, or they might need, a Halloween costume. They may need meals for their family, but whatever they need, we try to provide that, because what we want to do is just level the playing field. We want our kids here in Eastern Kentucky to have the same opportunities that kids in Lexington and Louisville do. So we take kids they have seen Broadway shows. This summer, I got to go with some teenagers to Chicago and to Washington, D.C., and I came back and I told everybody that I wanted to be a teen director. I don't want to be CEO anymore. I just want to work with the teens. But it was so good for me. But just the opportunities that we can give these kids it's just amazing. We were in the van driving up, and I asked the kids, what are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to most about DC? And one of the kids said, I'm so excited to have internet at the hotel. And you just this is stuff that some people just don't even think of, that kids don't have these opportunities that other kids do. One of the kids that we have had, I'm very proud to say, we have had 4 kids be the Kentucky State Youth of the Year. And what this is, every year Boys and Girls Clubs have a competition among all of their clubs, and we just had our 4th one in the short time that we've been around, so that's about one every 4 years. But I want to produce just Youth of the Year from all of our clubs, because the opportunities that they get are just amazing. She is in here. I just saw her picture. But she is on the bottom of this one, creating opportunities and memories. But that's her in front of the Capitol from a couple of years ago. But some of the things we've been able to do is take these teams to D.C. They get to talk to legislators. And we take them to Frankfurt every February so they can see the process and just talk and ask questions. But Nashayla, she was our Kentucky State Youth of the Year. We went on to the Midwest competition. She came in 2nd. She'll get to compete again next year. But if she wins the Midwest, she'll wind up with about $100,000 in scholarship money and a brand new Toyota. Just from her winning the state, she's already got $20,000 in scholarship funds. So we just do kind of everything. We have a new workforce program that we're doing. We have a lot of great programs. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but just the bottom line is we're just trying to give kids opportunities. And I'm looking very forward to a partnership in Middlesboro. If you guys agree with the MOU, I think it's going to be a game changer. And Boone has already said he wants this club to be the star club, and he wants it to outperform all the others. And we just have a great organization. And we've been recognized in the state. We've been recognized at Boys and Girls Clubs of America. And that's kind of hard when you're a very small organization in Southeast Kentucky to be, able to compete with other organizations on a bigger level. But we have a lot of great things going on, and it's just because the need is there. So many people, we're not political. We have, I can't think of anyone who don't support the Boys and Girls Club because it's all about the kids and just giving them the benefits and the opportunities that they deserve. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Does anybody have anything for Katina? Okay. Well, that was, you got a little easy. But if y'all notice that on page 50, or was it 65, I'm sorry, 66, that is it's an MOU that would go into effect for 10 years. And as you heard Katina and Leslie both get up here and say, one of their big things that they really try to key on is toward prevention. Prevention is one of the biggest aspects to that, and I don't know if we can ask for a better use of the opioid abatement money that we receive from the state. It's kind of sitting in an account. We haven't really touched it at all, and I want to say it's around like 1.3 million total. And this is an agreement for at least $50,000 a year for 10 years. So the agreement would expire in 2036, and we would give them $50,000 a year. And we would also, the city would do 50% match on construction of the facility. So right now we're guessing the facility is going to cost about $600,000 to build. With that $4.6 million we signed a contract for a resolution with last month, we'd be able to match that House bill money with our opioid money to build this to where it doesn't cost the city. There is no debt associated with this, and yes, it's all taxpayer money at the end of the day, but it's not coming out of the city budget, essentially, outside of the opioid money, which was a lot also from the state. But if you all don't have any other questions, I do know that there are some minor changes that need to be made to this as far as the location. Because we will, if everything goes well this evening, we will build this out by we would build it as an addition to the current street department building, and we would renovate the street department in order to supply for the Boys and Girls Club as a whole. So do you all have any questions about that before I ask for a motion, or is there any issues?
Does it go back at the end of the 10 years or something? We still own the building and?
Yeah. Okay. So it all points in this, and Katina, you feel free to correct me if I'm wrong at all, but this is pretty much allowing them to, we're going to give them $50,000 a year out of the opioid abatement for drug prevention. But there is, the city will retain the possession of the building. It'll be our facility. They're required to carry insurance on it, as outlined in this as well. But other than that, I hope that answered the question.
And I can't believe I didn't speak about our Smart Moves program, but that is our signature program that we do, talking about prevention. It is all about drug prevention. This has been our signature program since we started, and it's a program of Boys and Girls Clubs of America. It's been nationally tested and proven effective. Every time we do it, we see at least a 25 to 30% increase in our pre-test versus our post-test versus pre-test. And we feel that this program is so important that we don't only teach it in the club, we go into the schools, all of the schools in the community, and teach it. But she's got a lovely binder here that our Smart Moves coordinator put together, but she's going to pass it around so you guys can see that.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, do you all have any other questions?
We're not exactly sure when the date this is going to begin
Yeah, we would probably go ahead and just, we'll begin the, I guess, the
support for
the
the,
support as far as, are you talking about financially, as far
yes, right.
as? Yeah, we would go ahead and want to do the, MOU this evening, but the money, I guess, would not come until the club is actually over and running. And,
Mayor,
yes,
I'm sorry, you were whispering again.
I'm sorry, Romel, I've missed you, and I'm sorry. But
Are you calling for a motion to approve this right now?
I'm getting ready, I've not asked for that motion yet. I was just getting ready to. I just want to make sure that everybody felt informed and good enough to.
Can I'm out of order, but can I make some suggestions?
Sure.
Okay, we were looking at the memorandum of understanding.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at particularly protecting the city, okay? One of the things that I needed to know, one, has it been reviewed by the city attorney? And then, what about the funding? Are you looking at funding an allocation of $50,000 in the budget for 1 year? Or are you looking at an allocation of $500,000?
It would be 500. It would be 500 total, but 50,000 each year.
Yeah, but so would the budget item be
I would not.
500,000?
It would be 50. Yes, you're correct. It would be, yes.
Okay. All right, and my belief is always, when you write something down, you should try to make sure that you have no comeback. With the city's responsibilities in the facilities, can you list that the city will maintain the building and contents insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can you include that?
Absolutely.
As part of the city's responsibilities?
Okay. And insurance?
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's all. I know the city clerk has had to inform me about insurance.
Yeah, we're required to keep insurance on.
Yeah,
everything.
so maintain.
But
I'm just saying, put your language in there that the city will maintain
yes, ma'am.
the building and contents insurance. And in order to try to avoid the BGCA having to come back to you, in item number 4, their responsibilities is to provide structured youth programs, including, can we insert but not limited to academic support, so that way, if they change anything, they don't have to come back to us again to say, let's say for instance you want to put in something about some special computer program. You don't have to come back and say, can I include this, because it's not limited to what we're putting in there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next thing is reporting and accountability. In item number 6, can we not leave an open date, but should we set a date for the BGCA to provide an annual report, like for instance, the end of our fiscal year? You know, we're just not going to say, you give us an annual report, but can we say at the end of our fiscal year or something, we need to put a date?
So would you feel comfortable if we said from your first payment? So once the first payment goes through, that becomes the anniversary day of the report. Are you comfortable with that?
Well, you know, my thought is to coincide with our
yeah, but if they would be having to do a 6-month report, though, I guess is what I was thinking. So if we did it on whatever the anniversary was, but if you're saying we can say it on July 1,
okay.
That'd be fine.
Yeah. Just not leaving an open day.
We'll put it on July 31st.
Interrupt, but I thought we might need to do those things before you vote on it.
Okay. So, well, we got it written up and we will get it changed, but other than that, do you all, with the changes on those suggested this evening, do you all have any issues with any of the other stuff? Are you okay with that?
I'm great, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, Romeo, your expertise and long career has paid off, and we thank you. Yeah.
I've just been asking a little bit.
Well, you've been missed. But anyway, hearing no other questions, could I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Okay.
I'll
Kim?
second.
And second by Judy, and we'll do a roll call on that one.
Kevin Barnett,
Aye.
Glenna Brown,
Aye.
Judy Grandi,
Aye.
Terry Ford,
Aye.
Don Reisner,
Aye.
Bill Smith.
Aye. All right.
Thank you all so much, and I look forward to working with you all.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right then. We're going on to item number 8. And so, yeah, I mean, number 9, I'm sorry. Number 8.
Okay.
You can vote on it.
That was 8. Now what?
Okay. So, motion number 9, and just so everybody's very clear, this is for the purchase of a property located at 735 South 23rd Street in Middlesboro, Kentucky. It's currently owned by Mr. Bobby Ray Renner. And the hope and desire is with this property purchase that we move our street department to this location. It's right off the truck route, very easily accessible. And then that way we can make room for the youth development out there at the current street department. So we do have a lot of moving parts, but we've got a lot of good things coming. So I would like to ask for a motion to authorize myself to execute the deed for the purchase of the property and execute any and all documents necessary for closing on the purchase of the property.
Mayor, what was that address again? I'm sorry.
735 South 23rd Street.
23rd.
23rd, yes ma'am. And Romeo, after the meeting, if you want, I can show you where it is on the map so you can locate it as well.
Okay, and who was the owner? I'm sorry.
Bobby Ray Renner.
Renner.
Renner, R-E-N-N-E-R.
Okay.
But, does anybody have any questions before I ask for that motion? All right. Hearing none, could I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Okay, Kevin. And a second, Don. We'll do a roll call on that.
Kevin Barnett,
Aye.
Glenna Brown,
Aye.
Judy Grandi,
Aye.
Terry Ford,
Aye.
Don Reisner,
Aye.
Bill Smith.
Aye.
All
Mayor,
right.
Mayor, did you skip number 7?
I
No,
thought we did.
he did it.
No, we did it.
I got, Glenna made the motion, Don made the second.
Okay,
And everybody said aye.
okay, thank you, we missed it.
All right then. And then with some of these changes, these different things going on, brings us to item number 10. And in that, you know, I know we have had some issues there, of course, with the water company and some of our other communication problems. And the hope and goal through this is not to create a bunch of new positions on anything you're going to hear this evening. I think across the whole city, this is a citywide reorganization, not to create a bunch of positions or anything like that. I think total workforce from across the whole city, there would be 4 new jobs. The rest of these are just a reconfiguration of jobs that are already existing on the books. 3 of the new jobs you would hear listed are actually to create 3 additional dispatch positions so that we're able to service our dispatch center much better and combine our police and fire with the CAD system. In order to do that, our dispatch does a great job, and our police department does a great job supporting them. But as Chief would probably indicate as well, this goal is to make sure that we are that much more secure and safe with the way we CAD system, to also do the ambulance system as well. Especially some of the changes to Medicare, it would not be fair to ask these guys and women that work so hard down there in the dispatch center to try to take on this much more call volume. So, and then the other job that would be created would be the human resource manager. However, that we are doing some exploration with the water company issue and to create a better ticket system. Don't know if the HR position is going to be needed with some of the other stuff that comes, the other tools and different things that come with the new programs that we will be running. So I want to be clear about all that before you go through here. And also, pay grade is not necessarily, pay grade is just what they are. It's not, that doesn't mean that's what you get an hour. Every job's going to be different. You'll hear some on the lower end of the pay scale, some on the higher end, but the grade does not mean as much as what it may seem to at first. I know it's a very confusing thing. Unfortunately, that's just the way city government is set up. So I'm going to go through, and I'd like to ask for a motion to have the first reading of the organizational charts. You know, would be willing to make that motion.
Make a motion.
Kevin? And a second?
I'll second that.
All right. And then I'm going to go through and read this, and like I said, we've been working on this for probably close to a year. We've done earlier in the year with the issues with the water company. They kind of stalled a lot. So anyway, start off with the administrative department. City clerk be one authorized position at pay scale 20. Human resource manager, one job at 17 grade. Clerical assistant, one job at a 16 pay scale. Accounts receivable clerk, one job at a 16. Accounts payable clerk, one job at a 16. Accounts representative, two jobs at 15. Clerical specialist is as needed at a 13. Community development coordinator will be at one position at an 18. Downtown development officer be a one job at a 17. Lifeguards seasonal would be as needed at a 11 pay grade. The economic development coordinator would be one job at an 18. The code enforcement officer would be one job at a 17. Planning, zoning, and permitting officer, one job at a 17. Assistant code enforcement officer would be as needed at a 15. Police department, police chief, one job at a 20. Major, one job at a 19. Captain, one job at a 19. Lieutenant, one job at an 18. Sergeant, 4 jobs at a 17. Patrol officer, 17 at a 16. Investigator, as assigned. And as assigned. Information technology and telecommunications department. Information and technology director, one job at a 19. Telecommunications director, one job at a 17. Senior telecommunicator, 3 jobs at a 16. Telecommunicator, 4 jobs at a 15. Telecommunicator part-time, as needed at a 15. Fire department. Fire chief, one job at a 20. Fire department major, 1 at a 19. Captain, 3 at a 14. Lieutenant, 3 at a 13. Firefighter, EMT, combined with the paramedics as well, 18 at a 12. Firefighter, paramedic also set at a 15. Paramedic part-time as needed at a 15. Wastewater department. Wastewater superintendent, 1 job at a 20. Wastewater operations coordinator, 1 job at a 19. Wastewater collections crew chief, 1 job at a 17. Wastewater collections technician, 2 jobs at a 15. Chief plant operator, 1 job at a 16. Senior lab technician, 1 job at a 16. Plant press operator, 1 job at a 15. Plant shift operator, 3 jobs at a 15. Plant technician, 2 jobs at a 19. Plant technician part-time, as needed at a 13. And street department. Public works director / project manager, 1 job at a 20. Mechanic, 1 job at a 19. Street and stormwater foreman, 1 job at a 17. Parks and grounds foreman, 1 job at a 17. Equipment operators, 2 jobs at a 17. Senior street and stormwater technician, 3 jobs at 15. Senior parks and grounds technician, 1 job at 15. Street and stormwater technician, 4 jobs at a 13.
Parks and Grounds Technician, 2 jobs at a 13 custodian, 1 job at a 13 assistant custodian, 1 job at a 13 maintenance worker part-time, as needed and as assigned. We do have a motion from Kevin and a second by Glenn. Can we please do roll call on that?
Kevin Barnett.
Aye.
Glenda Brown.
Aye.
Judy Brandy.
Aye.
Terry Ford.
Aye.
Don Riser.
Aye.
Bill Smith.
Aye. All right, then.
Can I ask a question, sir? Did I hear you say, when you were talking about the police department, that there was a major position? Is that a most recently created position?
Yes, there's also one in the fire department.
So there'll be majors. Will the police chief still hold the, kind of the head of the department?
Yeah, that's why they were at first at 20 grade. Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you'll have co-captains. That didn't have to go through the charter? I mean, was that part of,
I don't know what you mean by that.
the state sets certain parameters for how many officers are within a certain jurisdiction. Has there been a need for a major? Like, when we see the reports from Chief Gilbert, the crime rate has actually gone down in our area. Was there a need for a major?
Yes, there was a need for one in the fire department and the police department.
So both of them, it was actually needed? It was, okay. All right, thank you.
Next up, we've got our department reports. We've got Mr. Josh Campbell.
Good afternoon. My report looks a little bit different. Instead of throwing a bunch of information at you, I try to do a little snapshot of some of the more important things. Just trying something a little bit different. So if you have any questions about how it's laid out or anything that's in it, just let me know.
Does anybody have anything for Josh?
I think you'll have to explain it because we don't know what this is.
I mean, the numbers.
I mean, down in the operational part.
Yeah, the operational part, okay. When we passed all of our, we've been passing, we did pass all of our limitations on our permit. As far as the operational updates, like the scum pit leak, it's not a leak that's on the ground, it's a leak that's self-contained in the system, but it's something that's got to be fixed. It's kind of hard to explain. You just kind of have to see it. It's a valve that's in the water that's rusted out, leaking, and a contractor has to come replace that. Belt press, it's the other belt press that's old. It's 40 years old this year. It breaks down all the time. Right now, it's pretty expensive to fix. I'm looking at options with it, but and then some of the capital projects down here are just some of the projects that I have on hand that I'm working on. But if you look right here, like for instance, the flow numbers, it shows you what it says limit. It's not really a limit. 3.6 MGD is what the plant's rated for. We had an average flow of 2.96 come into the plant for every day. That's pretty significant. It seems like that's good because it's under, but typically you don't want your average flow to be more than 50% of what your plant's capable of.
Is that mainly due to all the rains?
Yeah. I mean, all that reflects, you can look back at the electric bills, all the electric bills are up, you know. More pumping, more rain, more flow, more cost, so.
So how has all this excess rain in the last 2 months affected the plant operations?
I mean, we've been operating within the guidelines and limitations that we have to, but I mean, it does make it tough to navigate. But it's like Sunday, we had a pretty major leak. No, again, it's a self-contained leak, but in our main lift station, we have a wet side and a dry side, and the dry side's not supposed to have water in it. And one of the operators, they check it every day. We have somebody there every day, and he came in and there was about 5 foot of sewer on the dry side. So we had to, on a Sunday, had to go out, and we was there 8, 9, 10 hours pumping it, pulling pumps, sealing pumps up, fixing leaks, and I mean, and the majority of it was rainwater. So, yeah, I mean, it affects us pretty heavily. Rainwater does.
Any other questions for John?
Before you run away,
Yes.
I'm concerned you were saying that you are going to have to replace the bulk tank and the pumps,
Mm-hmm.
and that the current system failed, and the staff will continue to monitor plant operations and coordinate with the contractor for the repair of the clarifier scum pit leak and for replacement of the belt press number 1.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, what's the status?
On the bulk tank? and all
All the repairs.
the bulk tank, so I had to order a new tank. I was using an IBC tote. That was kind of a semi-permanent, but it just, the chemicals that we use parasitic acid, it just, you have to have specialized equipment for it. So I got a bulk tank ordered. It'll be shipping September the 10th. So, and then I ordered special pumps for that chemical. They are specific for that chemical, which will reduce the amount of handling that the operators are touching this chemical. These new pumps are supposed to be serviced once a year, and right now we have to service the pumps at least once a month or sometimes twice a month. So we are handling the chemical a lot, and this chemical can be pretty dangerous. I mean, so we're replacing it with the correct equipment that it's supposed to have. And as far as the scum pit and the belt press, I mean, I try to get multiple contractors, as you all know, have seen some of this stuff. Sometimes there's not multiple contractors, and then getting contractors lined up to get here to see it at specific times sometimes makes it tough. But I do have some stuff, I'm working on some stuff to try to get all that fixed. It is on the agenda, and
Okay, so we're in no danger with the state?
no,
Okay.
we do great with our permit, and now, I mean, we've got a 40-year-old sewer plant, and I mean, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse or nothing like that, but I mean, it is what it is. It does break down, things happen, and the state is aware of that. But as long as we're continuing to work towards fixing, and we can show that we are, I mean, they're usually pretty lenient on things like that. So I've got a great relationship with the state, so I always talk to them and let them know. And, I mean, they don't know, you all don't know anything that they don't, is what I'm trying to say. You know, they're very, very well aware of the status.
One last question. Your capital maintenance priorities,
Yep.
are these items included in your new budget?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Thank you. Next up, we got Mr. Robbie England.
Folks, I'm glad to be here and give you my report and go over any questions y'all may have from it. It's, like I said, it's a basic report that you see 12 times a year. Numbers is pretty comparable each one around. As a public announcement, I'd like to let the public know a couple of things. One is we're currently out of smoke detectors right now. We've got a shipment coming, so when they come on, I'll let it know on our Facebook site that they're available and ready to be installed. I've had a few calls over this month from some people in general and the public concerned about what they're hearing about no fire hydrants in town. And I just want to touch base on fire hydrants. If it's red, yellow, purple, pink, it don't matter what color it is, it's what it flows in water. Ours is orange, green, and red on the tops. That dictates how much water we can pull out of that hydrant. Orange being the lowest one, I think it's $500 to $999. Green would be from $1,000 to $1,499, and red or blue rather would be $1,500 and up. They're strategically placed all over town. I think we have roughly 300 and some, but those are not our hydrants. They actually belong to the water company who bought those. So before, in the past, they've always kept them maintained, kept them well worked. They probably tested them better in the last 10 years than they probably did the previous 100 years. Just consistently every year they would test their hydrants. Are there some areas in town that doesn't have as much water flow? Sure, of course. You probably won't find a town nowhere around that doesn't. But we've spent money and training in on water supply and spent money on trucks and dump tanks that we can suffice that. And I'm sure when the water company finds a way to get the infrastructure to these other areas that'll support a fire hydrant, I'm sure they'll be there. So I just let you know, we're all a little bit aggravated with the water company, but the maintenance guys with the water company are doing a fabulous job for the city. They really are. With what infrastructure they got to work with, they're right on top of the game. Other than that, that's about all I needed to report on. Unless you've got any questions, I'll make mine in right here.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
For us that are not familiar with the firefighting terminology, the red, green, and orange hydrants, what does it take to run what will a green hydrant run at 1,000 to 1,500 gallon per minute?
It's gallons per minute, yes. That's what the GPM on them would be.
So your hoses on the truck is the water, 2 inch?
We got everywhere from 1 3/4 up to a 5 inch. So it depends on the LDH, line diameter, size of the hose, according to how much you can pump. According to how long this line is laid out with friction loss, you got to be able to do the math and know how much you're getting at the nozzle on it. Most of ours is pre-connect. We got them preset with the right amount of hose on it. So we just got to look at the elevation. And usually on ours, we're inside of a closed city, and everything down here is pretty low. We don't run into that problem too much. All of our trucks probably got a 1250 pump on them. I think the Arrow has a 1500. So we can pump 1,500 gallon a minute with it if we've got a water source that'll provide that to it. So,
so orange, you're in pretty good shape.
Orange is the bottom tier of it. Now there'll be hydrants out here that'll be flush hydrants tagged, they're for not firefighting purposes. That don't mean we can't fill a truck up off of them. We just can't. That can't be the water supply that's supplying the water to the guys inside. It has to be 500 and up.
So you would go with a different hydrant. You would use that one, the low end one, and
absolutely
no tapping up.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody have anything else for Chief?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Because of higher gas prices, are you including that in extra costs for transportation?
Our budget will go, from July to July, or from June 30th, it is, starts July 1st, goes around for the fiscal year. The gas prices fluctuate so much, we haven't went outside of our city. I don't believe we went over budget on our fuel. Most of the time, we got more to turn back in or that we wasn't required to use throughout the year. Now, if it jumps up like it did at one time to near $5 a gallon, then you'll see us have probably amend the budget to add to that for it. Is that the question you just need an answer, or?
So you would amend the budget, but then would the people that you're transporting, would their bill increase?
It hasn't so far. We got to post our billing rates at the department and online at the beginning of each year when we renew our license. And whatever that billing rate is, if fuel goes up if we do that in September and the fuel goes up in November, we can't go change that rate. We leave that rate there. That's something we have to eat.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief. Next up, we got Mr. Travis Heck.
Any questions? It did say 100 feet on the camera, but it's supposed to be 1,000 feet. I just printed out. Tore a couple houses down, replaced a couple culverts, repaired some service lines on the sewer and 2 main lines.
We've been smoke testing as well, haven't they?
The contractors was doing smoke testing all on the south side. They spent about 2 weeks. They are completed. I'll have the report. I think he called me today, so I think he's coming up next Thursday. That's what he said. He'll have this report and stuff.
Does anybody have any other questions for Mr. Heck? All right.
I have a question. I'm sorry. Were you the one that had the burglary?
Yes.
Do you have to put in any extra protection, or were there any changes needed?
We have well, Gus might get on for Gus.
I'm sorry.
I think we have like 10 or 12 cameras already in there that covered the whole thing, saw everything that he done.
Okay.
He did jump the fence. There wasn't really nothing we can do about that. I think he did take and cut the barbed wire off. He's had to, but the barbed wire's gone where he jumped the fence at. So he's had to cut it off.
So, but for the actual building, you don't need any improvements, anything?
I mean, if they wanted to probably put an alarm system in it, but, I mean, the cameras called and seen him, and they called him, like, 2 days later.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
You're good.
Thank you.
All right. Can I get a motion to enter submitted reports?
Make a motion.
Motion. And a second? Second. Yeah. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now we got public comments. Back on the public want to speak?
Kevin, can you pass these out, please?
Hello, my name is Sheila Montgomery, and I live at 123 Alpine Road here in the Middlesboro. On July 14th, and notice I'm saying July, I had my backyard fence rows cleaned out. The workers carried it to the edge of my yard. Our street is not wide, so I asked the workers to please make sure they didn't put it on the street. And the reason I asked that is because our roads are narrow, and I was afraid a vehicle would come by and pass another vehicle and get scratched. So on the first photo, in number 1, you can look, this is where we laid it out. And here is where the grass kind of ended. But then here is just the narrow part of the road. After they finished that afternoon, I called 248-4601 to see about having this picked up. The recording said the destination mailbox was full. I figured they were busy or maybe closed early. The following morning, I called 248-4601 at 8:30. Same message, mailbox was full. There is not another option to choose. I waited and called again, no answer. So I called 248-5670 and spoke with a helpful lady. She asked my name and address and phone number and where I could be reached. And after I told her what I had to be picked up, she asked me if I needed a pickup truck or a dump truck. And I told her a dump truck because there was a lot. She said she would get the message to them. Well, no pickup. I called again on the 21st. I felt 248-4601 was a non-working number. I called 248-5670, got nowhere, was connected, then disconnected, was put on hold, and called back and got no answer. In the meantime, my neighbor had cut some brush, and that's on number 2, picture number 2, across the street from me, making 5 piles on his side and 1 on mine, making a total of 6. Like I said, that made 5 piles of debris on their side, and my pile made 6. The week of the 27th, I started pondering about what else to do to still be nice. I got to my breaking point when neighbors reached out to try to get the stuff picked up themselves. On Tuesday, August the 4th, I called 248-4601 and got lucky and spoke with Karen. She said they would pick it up Friday, August the 7th. After Friday came and went, no pickup. I realized since the 14th of July, city trucks have actually drove by this, slowed down, looked at it, and no follow-up. I pay a lot for yard maintenance, and yes, you could say it was simply an oversight. But it became an oversight when someone chose to overlook it and drive by. Then I decided last weekend to post a photo on my Facebook page, and my Facebook page is public for you to read what I wrote, for another route that I could take to get this taken care of. I was polite, no name calling, and certainly not political. When Mr. Barnett over here was our street department person, you could mark your calendar every Tuesday that a city truck of some time would roll through, and we could put anything out on Monday and it would be picked up. Now it lays there for days and sometimes weeks with cardboard breaking down. I never expected or demanded this stuff to be picked up immediately. I certainly didn't expect it would lay there until it killed my grass. In photo number 3, this is what it looked like after they picked it up. I got clear of the 8x10 so you can see them. Fast forward to yesterday. The way this was cleaned up was beyond horrible. I sat and watched it. It's on my Ring camera. They dug dirt up simply, and I'm trying not to get emotional, but here's a picture. They dug up with the backhoe dirt out of my yard. Now this could all have been prevented if there would have been communication to be able to get somebody within the first 1 or 2 weeks to pick this up. I can only hope the Middlesboro Street Department will do others better. My lawn is ruined. You can say you can do this and do that. It is look at the first part. I'm asking you to come by my home at 123 Alpine Road and look for yourself. I should not even have to be here dealing with this. And I would appreciate anyone explaining how this works. And on the final picture, number 5, this just shows a small bit of the debris that is left in that roadway. In front of Gary Mills's house, in front of the Helms's home, there's a ton of debris, not counting this. There's a huge communication problem within this workings, and I asked you to please, once again, drive by my house, because to see it, you won't believe it. I thank you for allowing me to speak.
Mr. Montgomery, I am so sorry, and I thank you for coming this evening. And you're right, we've got to do better, and I'm sorry.
You've got to do better.
I agree. 100%.
But I appreciate it if you would come and look at it.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Next up.
Thank you, guys. My name is Joseph Baker, and like the lady before, when things happen in the city, it takes a lot to get a citizen to come up to this podium, and I'm sure there's a lot of other citizens out there that have problems that just will never come here. But I bring an issue to this council, and I asked for 4 or 5 minutes. I've served my country. Raised my daughter by myself. I just turned 50 years old. I moved to this town when I was 21. A few months after that, I turned 22. It was March 17th, 1997. From there, I worked, got in a relationship, bore a child, had a marriage. 9/11 happened. I gun-ho it to the service. War wasn't going on when I enlisted, but I got stuck in Iraq. You know, I go to Germany, then we get deployed to Iraq. I was deployed over there 26. I turned 27 in Iraq. I turned 28 in Iraq. Half of 26, all of 27, good portion of my 28th year on this planet was in Iraq. I don't ever use that card. I was a single disabled combat vet parent. When I come home, they told us to go apply for workers' compensation, you know, where you don't work. I did, was denied that. Now, when you apply for that, you apply for everything, you know, the food stamps, all this. I was denied everything. Had to go to an arbitrary just to get, you know, my work, and it ain't workers' compensation, it's something else. But in serving this great country, you know, it has done some things. But I want to use my civil rights to speak, and I wish that I don't get interrupted. This spans back. I come here, and when I come to this town after the deployment, I come back proud. I represented my state. I represented the city of Middlesboro. You know, we got the Lexington Herald over in Iraq, and there's a thing in there, and it said, "Who else? Where is this paper going?" You know, so we sent back to Lexington, and there's actually a lot of people in the picture from Kentucky. So Tubby Smith, you know, he was the coach of UK at the time. They sent us back a book. All the people signed it, you know, like Tony Delk and them. JFG's made in Lexington. They sent a big bunch of stuff. So it was really, you know, something. So I come back here to Middlesboro, and my family opens a store. I'm here, and I did get my unemployment. That's what it was. I had to get an arbitrary to get it. I never did receive food stamps or anything like that, and I never have. I raised my daughter. She had perfect grades, perfect attendance, never took anything, took pride in paying for her school lunch. You know, I was raised on food stamps, nothing wrong with it. It's stepping stone to use it, go out, you know, one of those. But I run into an issue long ago with the chief of police here, Jeff Sharp, and a couple other people. When I was in several months before I come back to the United States, my daughter, my ex-wife, we decided, because of the lengthy deployment, been gone almost 2 years, she come back a month before me with our daughter, and during that period, about a month and a half later, I had to fly back here. During that, you know, I spoke with, when I was first introduced to Chief Sharp, I was on the phone, and he was threatening, he was telling me to tell my mother and grandmother that he was threatening kidnapping charges. My mom and them took my daughter. to the hospital. She stayed in the hospital for 11 days for RSV. And during that time, Chief Sharp was threatening to put everybody in jail for kidnapping. I'm in Europe, so I have to fly back here. I get a lawyer. I get social services on my side. The lawyer went through the judge. I got custody of her, everything, take her back. Then I come back 8 months later. After getting back here, me and my ex-wife, we were splitting. She was hit by a car. Now, all this was a statement to the police department by Bo Ho over here at Ho's Foundry. A car had passed my ex-wife while she was walking, put it in reverse, backed up about 40 foot, hit her, and just drove away. The law come, they called the ambulance, you know, they take her to the police department and put her tooth through her lip. So they called me to come down to the police department and pick her up, even though we're separated. We were separated, we're still married. So I take her from there to the hospital. And a few hours later, the police show up and they arrest me. And then they arrest her. And it was over at EPO from when we come in, child, you know. So anyways, we both go to jail. Next morning they throw it out because those EPOs were outdated. So, you know, shouldn't have went to jail. Okay, that was just brushed off as, you know, overlooked. Okay, then I'm at Walmart, big issue. Now all these issues, you know, it's been front page here in this town several times, about 8-10 times, you know. Had a console stolen out there at Walmart. The officers that responded, I got assaulted, you know, at Walmart by an officer, thrown out and everything. And it's been a long time ago, that was 07, but I had the video from Walmart. I'm sure you remember the whole incident. And anybody that's in this town remembers it. Me and Chief Sharp didn't get along, and it wasn't me, it was just the chief. Well, there's been so many incidents. My building's broke into. Mr. Smith, he's a good friend. I've known him for many, many years. He can vouch for me. You know, I'm a good guy. But the chief, my building's broke into. The guy's walking down. I called the police department 3 times. The man that was arrested and convicted of breaking into the building, stealing things. I called the police department. No, he won't send nobody else, so I go to the police department. Chief Sharp ends up arresting me, charges me for harassment, takes me to jail. Mr. Smith picks me up from that jail that same day and drives me back because I was a single parent and hadn't been at the bus stop. So that's the second time I was arrested. Now I beat that charge. There was no harassment. Went to court, you know, and the judge stowed it out against the chief. Chief of police says you're harassing him. You think that would stick, but it didn't. During that, I was banned 200 foot from the police department, and I couldn't call them. I actually went to the pharmacy at Jeff's Pharmacy, and I used the post office. But for that year, I couldn't because I had to stay 200 foot away. During the Walmart incident, after the assault, I'm out. My vehicle's there. My console was stolen. Couldn't leave. Couldn't nothing. It took 2 hours. The friend ours give me and my friend, which Brian Richter down here. I met him in Germany. We served together in Iraq. He's from Walla Walla, Washington. Come here in April of 08. Opened the glass shop. He was with me. He was visiting. And so when we went out there to get groceries for a little family store right there on 19th Street, it's called Corner Market. Only in there 10 minutes, somebody pulled up next to my truck, steals the whole console, had a bunch of keys and to everything. Some rentals, pop machines, you know, some of Dallas Shackford's places, George Fisher at the time had a lot of places. All these things, you know, a lot of responsibility, but this was stolen. The officers that come out just blowed it off, brushed it off. Just like that woman that was just here. When there's an issue, and you call the appropriate people, you know, and it's just pushed aside, and it's pushed aside, and it's pushed aside, you know, for that woman almost started crying right here.
What year did this all happen?
This happened in 07, but this has been a continued thing for many years. In 2003, I paid for my house, and when I was in on deployment, 113 Ellenwood. You guys probably had that on the chopping block to be tore down. Yeah. Last year I come here. Now, chief of police, back to that. When that happened at Walmart, I called after bumming a ride and coming here.
Mr. Akers, but
Please, just give me 3 more minutes. That's all I ask.
But you've already been up here for almost 10.
That's
And
okay.
Mr. Akers, this is the same story we went over last time.
This is not the same story.
Are you asking about your contents that were taken from code
During that,
enforcement? Hey,
I make a phone call
Hey,
to the
Mr.
police
Akers.
department.
Mr.
Lieutenant
Akers.
David Bice gets on there and touches me like a dog. I always wondered why nothing could happen with that.
Hey,
It's because the dispatcher and the chief of police at that time was having an affair.
well, that's,
They were both married.
we're not here for that.
The other spouses, this is all to it. And then now they're married together, so that's the motive, because the city and city workers, the safety director, James Percival, chief of police, Sharp, and Ben Hickman was just Ben Hickman.
But that was almost 20
They
years ago.
said the tape, because I asked for a copy of the tape, it's destroyed. You know, they first said it didn't ever happen. And I pull up the thing where I made the phone call, 4 minutes,
Hey,
19
Mr. Akers,
seconds.
hey, sincerely,
This
do
is
you
going
have a
on
question for
and
us?
on.
Because
Last
we
year,
can't
you
keep
guys
this
come to my house with jail people. You guys had inmates come there.
You're at
You
the
took
wrong
the
meeting, you
building.
need to go to the
No.
code enforcement meeting.
You took the building from my property.
Yes, it's the same one
I
I
come
was
last year,
referencing.
had an appointment with you, me and Mr. Smith
Yes,
had
and
an
you were
appointment.
30 minutes late, and I
You
had somewhere else
skipped me. I wasn't 30 minutes late.
You were 30
Mr.
minutes.
Smith wasn't 30 minutes late either.
You were 30
You
minutes
guys
late,
took
and then you
off
did not
my
come back
property.
the
I
next
got the
meeting we
deed to the
had.
property. You guys come out, clean up everything.
Yes, that's code
And
enforcement,
took it.
downstairs. You're at
It's
the
not
wrong
going
meeting.
to, I asked for an excuse then.
Point of
You
order.
told me it was destroyed. The building is sitting out there.
Point of order.
Like, what?
Point of order. You can't take up the whole evening. If you want to continue that, I would suggest you get back with the mayor.
If
I'm
you,
trying, Mr. Smith.
you haven't, because I called you the
I
next
have done
day, and you
due
said you were
diligence.
coming at 2 o'clock in the last one.
If you guys
If you
cannot
wanna
pay
meet
me for the
I will
things that
meet
you
with
guys have
tomorrow.
stolen,
No,
you
I will
blow
meet
me
with
up. We've never met before.
Because you
What
don't
did you
show
tell
up.
me I go out? Get a lawyer, it's been destroyed. I left that meeting, went right there behind Walmart, and that building is sitting there amongst your guys' stuff.
Your rocks,
Everything
everything else
in
that you're
there.
asking for.
Yes, big stones. That
Those
my
are
mother
good.
passed away in February, and one of them would have been a headstone for her. Why do you think somebody collects 23 600-pound stones, hand cut?
But we don't, a rock is a rock to us.
Okay,
That's
what
what
do
I'm
you
saying,
guys
those are
do?
gone. We can meet tomorrow, please show up.
I
9 o'clock in the
understand.
morning.
I'm asking for resolutions now.
You're at the wrong meeting, that's code enforcement. You want to go through that? I will walk you down there and we'll go through it tomorrow.
I want to know my stuff. You told me the building was destroyed,
It's
but
in
it's set
code
right there.
enforcement.
The last time something happened was something simple at Walmart. The city of Middlesboro
But that
went
was
through
20
great
years ago.
lengths to cover up everything. You even said it was destroyed. They spent $15,000 or $25,000 replacing something down there at the police department. Like a phone call is going to break right in the middle of it. Instead of them pulling it out, and David Vice being on tape, and what's her name, Bridget, the dispatcher, that was having an affair at the time.
Mr. Akers.
Instead of all that, it broke. So we spent $15,000 or $25,000, James.
I'm sorry
Percival,
that
to fix
happened
it.
to
Oh,
you.
it's unfortunate, but it's broke. It's just been one constant thing after another. Now you guys come and take all this stuff, gonna tear my house down, in that building, in the thing. When I got home,
Hey, Mr. Akers,
There was
what time tomorrow works for you?
this was all that was left at that
That
building.
doesn't matter.
That-
What
that's a
time
wooden
works for you
chain.
tomorrow?
All my military stuff was in there. That's what
Is
they
this-
did in Iraq.
Hey, what time tomorrow?
I'm here right now, sir.
There's nothing
He's
that's
offering
going
you a
to be
meeting.
resolved.
He's trying to resolve this, and you're just trying to drag it out.
2 o'clock. Now, last time we did the 2 o'clock, you didn't show up.
I did show up, Mr. Smith.
No.
Did I show up?
That was the
You
second.
were late, sir.
Mr. Smith, was you here?
I was here, but you was late.
I was here before the meeting. I talked to you. You didn't show up. Come up, talk to your thing, your secretary.
Tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
How about Monday? How about Monday at 2 o'clock? And I will bring my lawyer and we'll sit down with your lawyer.
You bring a
and we'll
lawyer,
go
we
that way.
can't meet.
It's gone. Then I'll meet you tomorrow at 2 o'clock and we'll talk.
Sounds great, but you said lawyers, so now we can't. So please sit down, because we're going to go on with this meeting now.
You guys go on.
Romel, do we have any,
I'll be
Romel,
back.
do you have any public comments?
Thank you guys. You know, because the last time I come and ask the council for stuff, it's just, you guys have voted greatly, and it's not individually, it's not you guys, it's a different set of council. But people that just want to blow things off and won't help, like that woman. Like that woman is
We're
just
gonna
here.
get that addressed. Thank you.
All these millions of dollars being chopped up and all this and that, but can't pick up simple stuff. Simple things like the little thorn and the tiger stain, it interrupts people's lives. I got a house sitting up there that you guys are ready to tear down, but all the stuff you guys come by with the jailers last year and picked up, wouldn't even give me no paper, you wouldn't answer nothing. This is the 4th time I've been up here to speak, 5th time I've been here. And I've had an appointment with you, but you never showed up. Never called me to
He
this
was
place.
here,
I'll be
he was
tomorrow
here
at
for
2
that
o'clock.
appointment. I was here with him.
Well,
You
we
didn't
get
show
to-
up and you was
I didn't show
late.
up, I talked to Mr. Schmidt. I
And you
showed
was
up.
late.
I wasn't late.
He has more than one
Hey,
appointment.
hey, guys.
Thank you, guys. Right.
He has
Thank you,
more than
Ms.
one
Wilson.
appointment.
Thank you.
Romel, the floor is yours.
He used to be on the council now. He's a beautiful person, I stand for everything he's done. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. I agree with
I have a question.
Romel, can you pull the microphone down to you, please? Thank
Is that
you.
good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, on item number 5, and let's see, it's on page 52. Okay, on the bottom of the page, section 2,
It should have been 26.
I'm sorry,
Is that, yeah, it was just a misprint on that number.
for 2023?
Yes.
Okay, so what should it
I
have been?
read 20.
What's it, 20?
You read
What was that?
26.
What was that?
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Police are here. It's okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Romeo.
It should be 2026?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, several other things, I'll make it quick. On July the 2nd, Mayor, you posted on city Facebook important information regarding the City and Water Service Corporation. So what is the current status regarding the city and the water company concerning billing and customer satisfaction? Have all the hiccups been worked out?
No. No. Unfortunately, I think they're just, and it seems to be the same issues we just had in the first month for this transition. And they come up and pretty much just say, sorry about your luck. You know, we're doing all we can as far as trying to be courteous and help our customers as best we can. Sarah, Felicia, Carl, they're all getting absolutely smammered right now. And it is not fair to them, and we are not getting any relief from the new water company.
Okay. I'm not going to prolong the hour. I have several questions. Okay. I know that the 2026-27 city budget has been passed. Yet I have one concern. Local funds are crucial for sustaining programs for senior citizens. Amidst budget cuts nationally and statewide, and in an attempt to provide 120 meals a day, was the Bell County Senior Citizens Program included in this year's city budget?
They were, as they are every year.
Great.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Once again, whispering, and I didn't catch it. So on the item number 7, did you all pass it?
Yes.
Okay. I have questions then.
Okay.
Was this agreement reviewed by the city attorney?
Yes.
Okay. Were there bids?
Yeah. It's a RFQ, so it's different, but it was an
Okay.
open invitation for bidding.
It
Yes.
was an RFQ?
Yes.
All right. Now tell me, I see several figures in there. What is the limit of this agreement?
A limit of the agreement in regards to, it's for 3 projects. The design work on that would be for $150,000 is what they're estimating.
Okay, so it was at the lump sum basis not to exceed
That
$150,000?
is, yes.
Okay. this amount be coming out of the 1.8 million that the city has received from the state?
I want to make sure, so it's 4.6 that we'll be receiving total, 1.8 this year and then 2.8 this year. I want to make sure I answer you appropriately. I don't know which way that will fall in regards to when they are done with their design. So if their design is done next July, then technically it would come out of the following year, the 2.8. Does that make sense?
So I know that, and I didn't bring this up with me, but I know that the outline that you had, that it was supposed to be like of the 1.8 that you were going to receive this year, that was going to be part of this flood mitigation design.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're just saying
whole
that part of it will be maybe out of this year's and part maybe out of next year's.
Yes, ma'am.
So then what will happen with the difference?
It's still going to be itemized under one project, just
Okay.
You're still going to get the 4.6 regardless.
Okay.
The 150 is coming out of the 4.6 total. I just don't know which year, whether it's going to come through the 1.8
Okay.
or the 2.8. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
it may be out of both years.
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
it's potential.
Okay. All right. Item number 9, which was to authorize the execution of the deed for the purchase of the property. Okay, how much was the property?
$208,000.
208 or 280?
208.
208.
208.
Okay.
And Romeo, just so you know too, on that, so what we budgeted $315 in our city budget.
Okay, that's what my next question was. So that was included in this city's budget?
It was
It wasn't any of the money from the state, it was in the city's budget, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, I have one crazy question left. Can the agenda for the city council be posted earlier than 24 hours before the meeting?
Yes, ma'am. When would you like to post? Friday before?
Okay. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you. All right then. Yes.
Unless anybody else has anything. I've been asked, because while the meeting was going on, I went ahead and posted up pictures of the Boys and Girls Club and the situation there. Do you plan on using local contractors for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah.
Okay.
We're using all local contractors.
Okay. And secondly, the water department. Have you heard of course, you've heard of the extraordinary bills that have been coming out. I know you've tried to do your best to get that situated. Is anybody actually being cut off because of the billing process?
Anybody being cut off yet.
Okay.
I don't,
They have it
I'm
on
gonna say,
pause. They have it on pause as of now.
They do have it on pause until they get the accounting situated?
Sarah, do
Okay.
you know how long they're gonna have that on pause if they communicate that with you?
I think it's 3 months, but I could be varied on that.
3 months from the start of July, which means probably another 30 days?
Yes.
Okay, so, yeah, we'll,
I received a letter from that company telling me they put it on pause. They wouldn't be cutting you light water off.
okay,
It was dissolved, but they didn't give a time limit.
okay.
And they
Okay.
are putting in new meters, and that could be the misreads.
Okay. Will there be do either of you know, will there be a better way to inform the public of boil water advisories?
But we don't get that information.
Okay.
They
Posted on their
follow
website.
state statute on how that goes on. So I would hope they would reach out to you first.
Okay. Previous told me that it was not necessary to reach out to the media.
Okay.
And then people in the community were saying, hey, we didn't know anything about this. So,
Yeah, we do not own the water company. We
Right.
don't have that control power.
okay, thanks.
All right, no other public comments, council comments. Starting out with Mr. Barnett,
No report.
Ms. Brown,
No report this evening, Mayor, thank you.
Ms. Green.
No, thank you. I can go for it.
Ms. Reisner? Mr. Porter? Mr. Smith? All right. I don't have anything myself, and the day of our next work session will be 9/8/2026. Their next regular council meeting will be on 9/15/2026, and I'll be here at 6 p.m. Could I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Thanks for joining us on 106.3 FM. This is the big one.